All night long 18 principal citizens did what their caste brother Richard was doing at the same time. They put in their energies trying to remember what notable service it was that they had unconsciously done Barclay Goodson. In no case was it a holiday job, still they succeeded. And while they were at this work, which was difficult, their wives put in the night spending the money, which was easy. During that one night, the 19 wives spent an average of $7,000, each out of the $40,000 in the sack. $133,000 altogether. Next day there was a surprise for Jack Halliday. He noticed that the faces of 19 chief citizens and their wives bore that expression of peaceful and holy happiness again. He could not understand it, neither was he able to invent any remarks about it that could damage it or disturb it. And so it was his turn to be dissatisfied with life. His private guesses at the reasons for the happiness failed in all instances upon examination. When he met Mrs. Wilcox and noticed the placid ecstasy in her face, he said to himself, "Her cat has had kittens," and went and asked the cook. It was not so. The cook had detected the happiness but did not know the cause. When Halliday found the duplicate ecstasy in the face of Shad-Belly Billson, village nickname, he was sure some neighbor of Billson's had broken his leg, but inquiry showed that this had not happened. The subdued ecstasy in Gregory Yates's face could mean but one thing. He was a mother-in-law short. It was another mistake. And Pinkerton, he has collected 10 cents he thought he was going to lose. And so on and so on. In some cases the guesses had to remain in doubt, in others they proved distinct errors. In the end Halliday said to himself, "Anyway, it roots up that there's 19 Hadleyburg families temporarily in heaven. I don't know how it happened. I only know Providence is off duty today." An architect and builder from the next state had lately ventured to set up a small business in this unpromising village, and his sign had now been hanging out a week. Not a customer yet. He was a discouraged man and sorry he had come. But his weather changed suddenly now. First one and then another chief citizen's wife said to him privately, "Come to my house Monday week, but say nothing about it for the present. We think of building." He got 11 invitations that day. That night he wrote his daughter and broke off her match with her student. He said he could marry a mile higher than that. Pinkerton the banker and 2 or 3 other well-to-do men planned country seats, but waited. That kind don't count their chickens until they're hatched. The Wilsons devised a grand new thing, a fancy dress ball. They made no actual promises, but told all their acquaintanceship in confidence that they were thinking the matter over, and thought they should give it a try. "And if we do, you'll be invited, of course." People were surprised and said to one another, "Why, they are crazy, those poor Wilsons. They can't afford it." Several among the 19 said privately to their husbands, "It is a good idea, and we'll keep still till the cheap thing is over, and then we will give one that will make it sick." The days drifted along, and the bill of future squanderings rose higher and higher, wilder and wilder, and more foolish and reckless. It began to look as if every member of the 19 would not only spend his $40,000 before receiving it today, but actually be in debt by the time he got the money. In some cases, light-headed people did not stop with planning to spend. They really spent on credit. They bought land, mortgages, farms, speculative stocks, fine clothes, horses, and various other things, paid down the bonus and made themselves liable for the rest at 10 days. Presently the sober second thought came, and Halliday noticed that a ghastly anxiety was beginning to show up in a good many faces. Again he was puzzled and didn't know what to make of it. The Wilcox kittens aren't dead, for they weren't born. Nobody's broken a leg. There's no shrinkage in mother-in-laws. Nothing has happened. It is an insolvable mystery. There was another puzzled man, too. The Reverend Mr. Burgess. For days, wherever he went, people seemed to follow him or be watching out for him. And if ever he found himself in a retired spot, a member of the 19 would be sure to appear, thrust an envelope privately into his hand, and whisper, "To be opened at the town hall Friday evening," then vanish away like a guilty thing. He was expecting that there might be one claimant for the sack, doubtful, however, Goodson being dead, but it never occurred to him that all this crowd might be claimants. When the great Friday came at last, he found he had 19 envelopes.